Dear students, this is Emmanuel Anthony and you are watching my YouTube channel English as a Second Language in Pakistan. This video lecture is about the novel Goodbye Mr. Chips, which is part of intermediate part 2 English course. In this video lecture we are going to discuss chapter number 6. Overall this is lecture number 29. We'll be reading some text from page number 13, line number 29 to 40. As I read the text for you, I'll also be explaining you the synonyms in context and will share and discuss ideas being described in these lines. Are you ready? Let us open our books. We are on page number 30. Obedience he had secured. It means that having served so many years at Brookfield, Mr. Chips was able to make students obey him. Students liked to obey him. An honor had been granted him. Now, these were the three things. There were three things we discussed in the previous lecture. There were three things he wanted: obedience. He expected three things as a teacher in life. Number one, he wanted obedience. Number two, he also wished for honor. And the third thing was love. In this line, the author is telling us that with the passage of time, he was able to earn obedience from students and honor from students and teachers. But only now came love. Now love was left. Students did not love him. This certain love of boys for a man who was kind without being soft. Now after marriage, when there were positive effects of marriage on his personality, his wife too affected his personality, his opinions, his way he took the things, he thought about the things. Now when he changed a little bit, students like that. They love the certain love of boys for a man who was kind without being soft. Now he was kind to students and he was not too lenient. He was not granting students too much of a freedom. He was not spoiling the discipline of his class without breaking the discipline, without destroying the discipline of his classroom, of his school. He started being kind to the student who understood them well enough. Now, understanding the students is one of the greatest qualities a teacher can ever have, but not too much, and whose private happiness linked him with their own. Now, Mr. Chips, he understood the students. He could understand what is it that makes students happy, and he began to make little jokes, the sort that schoolboys like. Now, we already know that he used to be a very good teacher. He was able to add jokes in with the teaching, with the stuff in his classroom. But now the author tells us that his jokes and his ability to make students laugh also improved a lot. Mnemonics. Here M is silent, and we'll start reading the word from direct from N. Mnemonics. It's art of improving memory. It means that Mr. Chips had an ability, or he improved in him an ability to remember, to memorize the things that had happened in the past, and he would say them at an appropriate time in his classroom. And puns. Now, puns means jokes that raised laugh and at the same time imprinted something in the mind. Imprinted something in the mind that these joking moments, these laughing moments, they were so good to the students to feel that they made their memories. And there was one that never failed to please, though it was only a sample of many others. The author is going to give us an example here that there was a joke that whenever every year coming to that lesson on that particular line, whenever Mr. Chips would make that joke, students always laughed and laughed. And what was it? Whenever his Roman history forms here means classes, came to deal with the lex canulia. Lex canulia is not an English word. Uh, it must be a name of a social law in that country. And here, right next to it, it has been explained as well. The law that permitted patricians. Patricians, noble people, rich people, or people in politics. This law gave them permission to marry plebeians. Now, plebeian means very common people, poor people. Uh, Chips used to add so that you see if the plebs wanted Mr. Patrician to marry her, if a common woman, a poor woman, wanted a rich person to marry her, and he said he couldn't, and the rich person would not marry, she probably replied, "Oh yes, you can, you liar." Roars of laughter means that students would laugh a lot. This is for today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. See you in the next class. Have a very nice time.